order or what?
It means the supplier will confirm this order.
Ah, okay. Can.
Can you see my PowerPoint again?
Yes, I can see your PowerPoint.
So so that's the thing. Then the order to cash is the one they make money. So they will get sales quotation, so-called. Then the customer will give the PO, and their sales cycle can be quite long. Or maybe for a small spare part, it could be 1 or 2 weeks. For project, the sales cycle could be years as well. From time to talk and all these things. So project is, let's say, they're involved directly or indirectly, and then the sales order will come in. I mean, they will generate sales order. And the difference between DO and SO is that DO is goods and services, SO tends to be just services. And in addition, SO, they also have another SO called maintenance order, MO, which is more for routine maintenance kind of thing. So actually, SO and MO are the same thing. It's just that they have a different thing, MO, because their MO is currently not done in the system.
Okay.
And their service report is also done manually, hard copy kind of thing, which they come in and then key into another separate system. So currently their accounting system is AgPack, which they do payment voucher and invoice. So my question to you is that will you advise accounting system for them to continue using AgPack, or do you think they should move it to Microsoft Dynamics?
No, you should move everything to Microsoft Dynamics, because Dynamics 365 Business Central is, you cannot just implement the operation module without the accounting module.
Okay.
Yeah, they are ERP. ERP means accounting module and operation module. So the three accounting module are general ledger, cash book, meaning receipt, payment, bank reconciliation, and then the fixed asset. And then the operation module are your purchase, your sales, your service module, and your inventory module, and even your manufacturing module. So we cannot just purely do the manufacturing or purchase module, sales module without the financial accounting module, because it will not be able to post through, because all the accounting GL never configured, you cannot proceed. So you must use it together, right? Just like a car, you must have tire together, you must have steering together in order to drive. We can't have just implement the inventory operation module without the accounting. So this in terms of technical, and then the other way is, the other thing is, it will be redundant to the user, whereby they have to key in twice at the end of the day.
So in terms of volume transaction, the sales order, every year they have about 300 to 400 sales order.
Okay.
Their purchase order is about maybe 200-300.
Okay.
Because it's very B2B, so the volume is not very big. So just to give you a context.
Okay.
Now, would you mind showing us how Microsoft Dynamics introduced to us the whole suite and so on?
Okay. So let me share my screen. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can. Yeah.
Okay. So do I need to explain the process of implementation?
Sure, that'd be nice.
Okay. So basically, when we implement the Dynamics 365, right? We have to go through all the 6 steps together with the user. So the first step is we have to do business analysis. We call BA, requirement gathering. So we have a long list of questions there to ask you, and then by individual module. So account people must sit in all the sections, because eventually it's going to impact them. And then when we discuss operation, hold on. Can you still see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Then when we discuss operation module, then the respective operation people must sit in also. That is during the BA like sales module, sales people must sit in, purchase people must sit in, inventory, then they also have to sit in. Okay, so we will have around 5 days to do the BA discussion. Okay, then we will configure the system according to your requirement. So this based on what we have discussed, and we will also customize the business form for you. Okay, what are the business form? Your quotation format, Okay, your sales order format, your delivery order format, your invoice format, your credit note format, your purchase order format. Okay, then your service quotation, service order, service PO, and service invoice and service credit note. Total 11 format is included in our PSG package. Okay, each format is one layout lah, meaning one quotation format. If you need multiple quotation format, then we will have to quote you separately. So total 11 format for sales, purchase, and service module will be customized for you according to your logo, your layout. Okay. So what is not included in PSG by the government? The customization of program, because PSG is pre-approved solution, right? So government will not know each individual company need to customize what program. So we are not allowed to factor in the cost for customization because we don't know what you need in terms of customization. So only the customization report is excluded. Okay. So if along the journey when we implement, we detect, we know that, oh, we have to discuss, we have to customize this function. If not, there's no such function, then we will have to quote you separately. Okay.
That's fair,
Then, then data migration. We have to migrate 5 master data: your customer, your vendor, your fixed asset, your inventory, and also your chart of account. Okay, so with these 5 master data, we will also migrate 5 opening balances of these 5 master data. So let's say you decide to go live in, let's say, 1st December, for example. So your accounting cutoff will be 30th of November. Once your account close the account as at 30th of November, right? They have a closing balances already. So we will migrate the GL trial balance as at 30th of November. Your AR unpaid invoices, your AP unpaid invoices, your fixed assets costs, and accumulated depreciation, plus your inventory quantity and cost as a 30th of
You just mentioned the 5 is customer, vendor, inventory, chart of accounts, and what's the 5th one?
And fixed asset.
Fixed asset, okay.
All right. So these 5 master data plus their own 5 opening balances, because these are the fundamental and a must to migrate as a proper accounting.
So a question to ask you is that, let's say if I open a purchase order and the goods will come in, let's say 1-2 months later lah. So what I do is that I then go and recreate the purchase order in the new system in anticipation for the GRN. Is that what I do?
Yes. If you have those outstanding purchase order and outstanding sales order, right? There are 2 options for you to do. The first option is what you say. Let's say in your old system, you have 10 PO. Each PO still have outstanding quantity haven't received. Some may be partially received, right? So you go into the new system to key in those outstanding PO with the outstanding quantity only. Okay? This is option 1, so that when you receive, you can straight away do the posting. Some of our customers, they have no time. Okay, they say they don't want because they are still able to monitor via the old system because it's side by side within the same computer they can access. So what they will do is when they don't upfront create the outstanding PO and SO in the new system. Once they receive, they straight away go to the system to key the sales invoice or purchase invoice only. Yeah. So this is optional, which we will discuss during the BA and depending on your preference.
Sorry, option 2 is that, for example, currently I have so-called 20 outstanding PO and 20 outstanding SO.
Yep.
What's the scenario for option 2 again?
You don't create all these outstanding SO and PO in Dynamics. You leave it, okay, in your old system because you are still able to monitor in your old system.
So when I receive the goods, where do I do the GRN?
Yes, you straight away do a PO and then straight away do the correct.
In the new system, is it?
Yes, straight away directly in Dynamics.
Okay, sorry. So let's say if I don't key in the 20 PO from the old system, when I receive goods, then I directly do a GRN without a PO. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, you are right.
Similarly, for sales order, I'll do a DO.
We call it as directly do a purchase invoice, directly do a sales invoice.
Okay, so for sales order as well, I will not migrate, but when I can just do a DO just by itself from the new system.
Correct. Okay, then after data migration of your master data, and we will do training. We will not train if we did not migrate your master data because our experience is if we use sample data to train new user will not be able to learn much, they cannot absorb much. So we use your master data, migrate to the system already, then we train you, we can easily take out your sales order, your service order, your purchase order, you key, you post, you print out, you can see through the whole process, whole workflow. That would be more helpful in learning the system. Okay, the training will be around 7-8 days. Okay, for the training from GR, fixed asset, cash flow, sales, purchase, inventory, even the service module. Okay.
Just a question. Your migration, what is the integrity? Is it 100% or is there how to authenticate all the data?
Oh, basically is we will provide you Excel template. Okay, you will fill up the Excel template for the master data first. So meaning the customer, vendor, fixed asset, your inventory item, right, your chart account. So once migrated the master data, we can proceed for training already. Opening balances will be waiting up after your account do the closing. Then only they have the balances to migrate. So same thing, the opening balances will also be providing you the Excel template. So your colleague will fill up the GL trial balance amount. Those are unpaid invoices. So the unpaid invoices is a lump sum amount, assuming you have 100 sales invoice still haven't paid by customer. So some may be partially paid, right? So what we migrate is each individual invoice number with the date, with the customer who is that, and then the remaining amount. Yeah.
But how is the validation of this to ensure, I mean, it's really, I mean, like
eventually once we migrated, right? We will need to tally between AR and GL, AP and GL, fixed asset and GL, then inventory with GL. So this is how we validate your account whether it's correct. But we do have some customer once we migrate, right? We found that AR and GL not tally, AP and GL not tally. So we ask them, they will come back to us and say even their old system also not tally. So they say just proceed. Yeah.
So this part, is it covered under the funding or?
Yes, it's covered during our data migration.
Okay.
We will ask you, we will print, once we migrated, we will print out those migrated report already. Because once migrated, you have the AR aging can be printed, AP aging can be printed, GL trial balance report can be printed, fixed asset report can be printed, inventory valuation report can be printed. All those reports, we will upfront help you to tally. So if not tally, we will ask you, because to myself, I'm also accounting trainer. So our people will know what to do also. So these are the things that must make sure tally. So when we found not tally, we will ask you. So usually our customer are not tally is the inventory with the GL not tally. Most of the case. So because inventory is very messy to them. So not tally, sometimes out of 20,000, 30,000, so we ask them, they say inherited from previous finance people. So we will see how we want to adjust. You just migrate and carry on. So because in their old system, the accounting is also messy. Yeah,
I understand. Okay, thanks.
So thanks for the question, Stephen. Actually, that's a very good question because currently, like most customers, recognize that inventory is always very messy.
Yep.
So it's something that we need to work on first. And as well as, I think by the way we do the migration, the so-called vendor information is maybe 200-300, well actually less than that, maybe about 50 to 60, and then the customer information is only 200-300. The inventory is the one that tends to be a bit messy because there's a lot of legacy thing which hasn't been cleaned up. And checking those records are very easy. 200-300 records, you can just eyeball, compare side by side. You know, it takes a short while to tally those things. Okay, yeah, please continue, Darren.
Okay. So training, we will train you those modules that we are going to implement. So basically total there are 7 modules, I would say. The GL, fixed asset, cash book, inventory, sales, purchase, and service module. Of course, include the, what we call that, the JET report. Okay, I will demo to you later.
Okay.
Then we will go live. Go live is only after we have migrated your opening balances. Okay, so which is November, for example. So when you start to go live, we will station our consultant in the office for 5 days. Okay, which is included in our PSG grant already. So the reason is because when you go live, usually user they need more help. So that's why we station our consultant in your office. So anything will step in to help you immediately. So after the 5 days, right? Then
Hey, wait, Darren, could you show your screen again just now? I think you Go back so you can reference to your website and see clearly.
You hold on.
Yeah.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, now can I see it? Yes, thank you.
Okay, so we will do the go live implementation. So which is the first 5 days when you go live. So we will be stationed our consultant in your office. So anything need help, we will immediately help you rather than you call support. Okay. So after the 5 days, right, then you have anything you will call to our help desk support. So basically our help desk support will included 30 hours in the first year for you. So you have anything, you call us from Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then we will do a team viewer with you. If you have any issues, just call us. How to posting error or whatever, not sure how to post, how to key, then this is under the maintenance support. So I would say the whole implementation process are all these 6 steps is to implement for one entity, and then is to come together with let me go in with 10 user license. Okay, this a cloud solution? So SaaS subscription is through cloud, it's cloud native. I will show you later what is cloud native. So it's through cloud, and then we will also not only Dynamics, we will also give you Jet Report. Jet Report is very important for every ERP implementation. So it's a tools that is a BI tools whereby you are able to design your own report in case, and I would say most of the case, standard report for whatever system, whether SAP, Oracle, or Microsoft, it won't be able to meet every bosses or every management, every operation requirement, because all these are standard system, right? So every company have different report requirement. So we have also bundled the Jet report together, then user able to design their report without the need to know any technical skill. You
So
don't need
Darren,
to learn
you're
programming.
recommending Jet Report because the Microsoft Dynamics report is not so user-friendly, not so powerful.
I would say the report, right, is all standard report.
Sure.
So like for my experience, I was also a Sage Epic consultant before. Okay, so all these are standard report. So a lot of time customers say, "Hey Darren, your system very good, a lot of feature." But when report my boss suddenly today need this report, next week need another report. So we have some standard report we want to have. So if I ask you to customize, too expensive. Any other way, I don't want to do manually every month. So Jet Report is the one that you are able to design. So we are the only Dynamics partner bundling Jet Report for you.
And
Yeah, I will show you later.
Mm.
So basically we have this PSG package, right, which is this one, and the price before grant is $80,300, and then the which include the implementation service I mentioned, 10 user license plus a Jet report. Jet report we will also give you 10 users to run the report, and then 2 users to do design the report. And then the grant will be PSG will be full amount capped at 30,000 by government, so you will get full 30,000, and then you will also get additional 7,000 if your company has 3 local employee, has been approved by PSG grant, which is this one, and then your company also contributes $750 SDL, Skill Development Levy. I think you have 20 over employee, you should have contributed more than $750 SDL. Okay, so if you meet all this, you will get additional 7,000, which is announced this year.
So how much is required in the first year and the subsequent year?
Okay, so for the subsequent year, right, let me open up the Excel to show you. Okay, so basically for PSG price,
Can you
then
change
we
your
have,
Excel view? We are looking at your website.
oh, sorry.
No problem, it's a common mistake.
Let me share this one. Okay, can you see?
Yes.
So basically PSG price is 80,300. Then the PSG grant is 30,000 full. Then the skill future enterprise credit, okay, is 7,000. So your net is actually okay. So in second year, right, we will have Dynamics 365 Business Central Premium. Okay, so for 10 license, each license is 1700 equal to this one times this one. Then the jet report with 2 designer and 10 user is 3,003 per year. Then the help desk support 30 hours, okay, is actually 3,006. So in total, your yearly renewal will be this one. Yeah, this is the yearly renewal fee, which is in year 2 onwards. Yeah. So first year you pay this one, second year you pay onwards, you pay this one.
When is the start of the second year? When is the, let's say if I implement, if let's say the go live is in November this year lah. So then after that for the next 1 year calendar is still considered first year, right?
Basically it's like this. The first year is actually the license, right? Because you go live in November. November, right? The license will not be placed on November because we need to do training, we need to do setup. So the license will be placed likely in September, for example. So September will be, once we place license in September, let's say 1st of September, in order to migrate data, do training, hands-on before we go live. So in 1st September, we start the subscription, for example. So 1 year later, which is 31st of August, before 45 days, we will bill you for the renewal already because we need to process the renewal with Microsoft.
So you're saying that the license for the first year starts,
correct.
the first year license starts when we do data migration.
Yes, we also need the license to do data migration on this. So we
But
will
configuration we don't need.
Need also without the because this system is your system. It is we need to have the database set up for you. If no, we cannot do anything. Okay.
So typically from configuration until go live is about how long?
Around 2-3 months.
So basically we will actually have 2-3 months of work in progress using the license.
Correct. Correct. Then for helpdesk support is up when you go live. So let's say you go live in November, then the helpdesk support will start in November. So usually yearly this is the total cost, but the billing will split into 2 times for the yearly. The first billing will always be the license first because license will expire earlier than the helpdesk support. Helpdesk support is up when you go live.
Understand.
Which is count by 1 year later.
So I don't know whether are the prices for the SAP B1 as well as Sage 300 similar?
I don't know, but I know that for your requirement, right, you are not suitable to use SAP B1 and Sage. Honestly speaking, SAP B1 does not have service management module. Okay, let me come back to here. SAP B1 does not have this module. Yeah, they only have simple production. Okay.
How about Sage?
Sage also don't have. Sage is even more worse. Honestly, I was a Sage consultant, Sage Apex consultant from 2008 until 2016. Then 2010 until today, I start to do Dynamics to concurrently with Sage. So the Sage, the functionality is more on like the accounting. They are more accounting oriented than operation oriented for Sage. So, but for Dynamics, it's more operation oriented. Even SAP also more operation oriented. Okay, but of course, accounting those are very basic, very fundamental. Even QuickBook all have this function. So what I want to share is service management only in Dynamics 365, and then for Sage they don't have service management. For SAP Business One also don't have service management.
So does Telstat also so-called sell Sage now?
No,
right?
I don't sell. They approach us lah because I know them, but we don't sell because Sage was not very, maybe 10 or 15 years ago in the market, Sage was very popular lah.
Yeah.
But we have seen that since 2012 onwards, we have seen Sage sales drop significantly. So, and then in year, I think 2008 or 2009, they was bought over by a UK company from Newcastle. So they bought over, then they didn't give fund for Sage to improve. So they bought over, then they take the money and improve their own original system. That is the starting point of Sage being not improving a lot until today.
What
Yeah.
year was this when it was bought over a UK company?
I think 2008 or 2009 bought over by, because Sage was originally from Canada, Vancouver,温哥华.
Yeah.
So that main guy is called Steve lah. Steve, yeah, if I remember, yeah, because I last with him last time. He's the CTO, the whole CTO of the Sage lah. So they were using Java language to write the web, but it was failed. Yeah, so because
Sage was bought over by Agpac or something like that, right?
the original name was called Epic.
Oh, I see.
But then Sage is a UK company. Sage bought over Epic.
I see.
Epic means accounting package. Yeah. So then they bought over Epic. Then they renamed to be Sage Epic. Then further on, they renamed to be Sage 300 as today. Yeah. So they sell by module lah. So sell by module means you need to buy system manager module. It's a fundamental module. You need to buy GL one by one. You need to buy sales order module. They call order entry. You need to buy AR module. You need to buy PO module. Then you need to buy AP module. Then you need to buy inventory module. So they are sell by module. Each module a few thousand $. So it's quite expensive.
So then SAP B1 is actually developed by SAP, but then
SAP B1 was originally from Israel.
Yeah.
It was bought over by SAP from German. Then they were very popular in year 2000. I would say in year 2009 until 2015, 2016. But recently, I have two customers. They are using SAP B1 for around 10 years. They also stopped. The reason I asked them why you want to stop SAP B1, because the new version you can just upgrade. They say that their boss, after they see difference, they also see Oracle. Okay, they also see SAP Dynamics. So one of it prospect one of it they choose Oracle because they want a much high-end system so they choose Oracle. The other one we are still pending their confirmation
So B1 is actually from SAP, but SAP company doesn't sell B1. It sells it through distributors, right?
Yes, basically for ERP system, most of them are selling via certified partner.
Sure.
For example, Microsoft, they don't sell directly for, they sell directly for Office 365 or Windows Office, Windows 10, because those are just install and run. But for ERP, basically it's need to implement, need someone who know the system to implement for you and based on experience. So whether Microsoft, SAP, they don't sell directly.
What's the difference between Dynamics and Navision? Is it the same thing, different names?
Yes, it's the same thing. Navision was actually originally from Denmark in year 1984. Okay, 84 until now, 36 years already. So in year 2000, it was bought over by Microsoft. So when Microsoft bought over, they are still stagnant. I would say stagnant. Not improving much because at that point of time, Microsoft was focusing on in year 2005, 2006, 2007, Microsoft was fighting to challenge this Google in the search market, search engine. That time was even talk about want to buy over Yahoo. Luckily, they didn't buy over. Okay, so then after they failed to buy over Yahoo, right? Then they look back to their own system. So they know that they cannot compete with Google in terms of search engine. So they start to reinvent their product. So that's why it come out Microsoft Azure, okay, which is the cloud server, all these things. They come out Office 365, right? And then then in terms of their business solution, which is ERP, they have 4 ERP, Dynamics Solomon, Dynamics Great Plains, Dynamics Navision, Dynamics AX. So for ERP, they choose 2 only, okay? The Dynamics Navision and become Dynamics 365 Business Central. Dynamics Great Plains and Solomon will be phased out slowly probably in another 5 or 8 years, okay? So Dynamic AX is equivalent to SAP S4HANA, which is SAP R3, $1 million, minimally 500,000. So I have friends doing this. If you call them, if you don't have budget of 500,000, they don't even want to come and see you. Yeah, so those are MNC company lah.
Okay.
So,
Thanks very much for the comprehensive background. So
yeah.
maybe now let's look into the functionalities of 365.
Okay, so what I'm showing you is cloud native. Okay, to MDA, government very clear. They categorize a software on-premise, cloud-based, and cloud native. They consider cloud native is true cloud, 真正的 cloud. So cloud native, you will see this thing, the integration with all the Office 365. Okay, even in Azure, SharePoint, whatever. But if you talk about cloud-based, you just install the software in the server, whether the server is in Amazon or Azure, Google, right? That is called cloud-based. So it will not, this is called cloud-based. You will not see the just sound the integration. Okay, so cloud native means it will auto upgrade to the latest edition every April and October. It will auto apply hot fixes every month. It will auto upgrade. You don't need the server. So the back-end infrastructure, you leave it to Microsoft to manage for you. So
April and November, is it?
April and November 4月 so April and October 4月跟10月 Yeah. So this is a cloud native. I have one customer, not my customer. She bought from another vendor, okay? Also PSG. She thought that she was given by cloud native. And after that, she found she calls, she asked us, hey, yours is cloud native or cloud-based? I said cloud. She don't know the cloud native or cloud-based because she didn't see this integration. She saw for another vendor. So she regret. Because why some partners still sell this cloud-based if they cloud-based, right? Because this one has more margin from Microsoft. This one has lesser margin. Main reason is because Microsoft have to maintain the hardware server, everything for you. Okay, backup everything. For cloud-based, it's a partner to manage. So Microsoft don't charge you those fees already. So that's why the most partner, even if you can found in the tech part, right, they are still selling this one. Okay, so have to be careful lah. But we are very clear. That's why we list out clearly in our PSG grant here. We are giving you SaaS. This one is cloud-based. Yeah, we only have one. Then this is the cloud native. Okay, so now let me show you how quick
installation, right? So they go through Dell Stack servers.
No, there's no Dell Stack server at all. For this, it's basically once we provision, right? You actually log in with your company. It belongs to you. It will be registered under your company. There's an admin portal belongs to your company where you manage your licenses. Once partner provision license, you can see all the licenses here. Okay,
but really, where does the software reside in? I'm trying to tell the difference between cloud native and cloud, based.
Cloud based, you mean?
No, I'm trying to tell the difference. What's the difference between cloud based and cloud native?
Okay.
Seems the same to me.
Okay. Paise. So this is the admin portal which will go through with you along the implementation journey. You will be able to see, even if you use Microsoft 365, all the differences, Power BI, if let's say you are using, right, all different licenses, all will be here. Okay. So let me
hold on,
go.
Darren. I think Tune is trying to ask. Just now you mentioned that cloud-based and cloud-native. You're saying that the profit margin for the reseller is better for
Higher. Cloud-based is higher.
higher because
Yeah.
cloud-native basically you don't
Because
do
cloud-based
anything.
is old licensing model.
Oh,
Last
okay.
time, no such technology called cloud native. Because from long ago, we have to buy server that is on-premise version until subscription, until SaaS subscription. So subscription is meant for cloud-based. So the difference, cloud-based actually is just install the software in a data center. That's all.
Correct. So
Yeah.
currently the cloud-based solution, does the distributor host the solution?
Yes, they host it in the Azure. And I have one customer, okay, they are selling gas, is our customer. They have a few company lah. So their first company was implemented by the other vendor, and it was locked down by the vendor for their database.
Okay. So basically the
Got
difference
quality
between
issue lah. So to us is we don't hold your database. It belongs to you. We register under your company.
okay. So the difference in cloud-based, if I sign on cloud-based solution, the hosting is done by the distributor.
Yes, so the
Right.
distributor will not tell you whether they put it in which server. They will not tell you.
Sure.
Yeah.
But if
So
I
it's
go for cloud native, then its hosting is done by Microsoft.
Yes, it's everything with Microsoft. Even if one day you want to change partner, you just approach any partner or approach Microsoft, they're able to do the change for you. But cloud-based, you are at risk because they, just like the other customer, they host it in their own Azure server, right? So they can choose not to give you back the backup.
Yeah,
Then go
so
for
the main difference is in the data residency, lah. Is it?
Yep.
So
Then also the backup, the partner must do for you, and then the upgrading you also have to do. The partner must do for you. When come to upgrading, you will incur additional cost. So based on experience, every 4-5 years, minimum I would say 5 years, you will have to do the upgrade. When you upgrade, you will get charged with the upgrading fee because let's say in year 2020 you implement this version, let's say version 10. But 5 years down the road could be version 15 already. So when upgrade, the partner will charge you upgrading fee. But if you're on cloud native, there's no upgrading fee because every year upgrade is auto upgrade for you.
I saw that you have for cloud native there's integration with Office 365.
Correct.
But the 365 license is purchased separately, lah.
Yep,
Okay,
correct.
understand. So then when you have so-called every year April and October upgrade in cloud native, apart from the technical background, will the user need any support from your side to do any adjustment configuration changes?
No need. You will just see suddenly, for example, suddenly have one extra column and one extra button. So you're not sure, then you can call us because once upgraded, the whole world is upgraded. Okay. So we also need time to learn about the new button, new function. So when you call us, then we will have to check and get back to you.
So the way Microsoft upgrades, they always expand on the functionalities.
Yes.
They will not take away an existing functionality.
No, they
can't. And but the tricky part is if they amend the functionality, then we might need to take some action. We might need to take some action, right? Would there be an issue of that sort?
I would say not really. So far, you see, it has been upgraded since 2018 until now, 2 years already, right? We don't see any complaint. In fact, we see some, wow, about this extra function. Yeah. So it will not affect your operation, I would say.
So if the solution is a cloud based, then the distributor will be the one doing the upgrades.
They will not upgrade every month or every year for you. They will charge you every time upgrading, but the duration will be 4-5 years. This one back to old technology already.
Understand.
Yeah.
How many customers do you have on cloud native now?
Our customers are mostly cloud native for the past 2 years.
So
because
how many customers do you have at this point of time?
Around 20 already. Yeah, around 20. 1 year we can close around 10 max spend 12 customer lah. Not easy.
And do you have any customers on cloud-based?
Yes, I have. I have two customers on cloud based only.
Okay.
There are three licensing model perpetual. We still have quite some customer using perpetual license because that is the oldest model.
Yeah.
Then Microsoft come out subscription in year 2016. So we managed to sell two customers using subscription, but some people still prefer perpetual because they want to install in their own server. So then in year 2018, when Microsoft first launched it, then we start to sell for this cloud native lah. So for the past 2 years, we managed to close almost 20 customers for this.
So the cloud native is only from 2018 onwards.
I would say yes, because I will also highly recommend the cloud native, although our margin is lesser.
Understand.
Yeah. Because
Understand.
the reason is because the maintenance cost is lower, and then we don't have to spend time to do your server to patch the Windows update. You know, cloud-based is still installed in the cloud server. It's just same as your physical server.
Understand.
So we still need to do the Windows update. All this you can eliminate already.
I think the revenue model for cloud native is that you are now earning more on services rather than software licenses. But this also allows you to provide a better
Actually, it's the
support.
same. You see, I give you one example. This one 5 user, this one also 5 user, right?
Yeah.
This one 40 over 1,000. This one 50 over 1,000. The professional service is still the same.
Yeah.
But you pay annually more expensive.
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
more expensive your annual cost because the cloud server is dedicated for your company only. So that cloud server costs you 1,000 plus per year, per month.
Yeah.
Quite expensive.
Uh,
So not cheap. Yep.
So and just now the price quota is for 10 name user license. If it's so-called 5 name user license, the price will be about half of it, is it?
This one, this one 41,000 plus. This one 50 over 1,000.
Now, I'm talking
It's
about
extra
comparing
support.
for cloud native. Just now the price is quoted for 10 name users lah.
This one correct.
If you go
This
for 5
premium.
name users, you'll be cheaper, is it? Much cheaper.
But you can't use because you can't use 5 because we don't have premium for 5. We only have premium for 10.
Okay.
Because people who use premium definitely need they need more than 10 license.
Understand.
Because they involve service module, meaning they have a service department. They involve maybe another, because one company they use premium, right? It's either they use service module or they use manufacturing module. They won't use two together.
Okay.
So when we submit to government to approve, right? That's how because we based on experience. It can't be a manufacturing company do servicing. It can't be a servicing company do manufacturing. Usually that would not be the case lah. So that's why when we submit, it's actually we based on the experience, the market, the norm, the standard demand in the market. So we submit. So that's why we have more licenses we have 10. Of course, we can put up to 15 lah, but 15 will be more costly because the grant is still capped at $30,000.
Let's say if among 10 name users, but I actually have about 13 to 14 people accessing the system. So how internally they will share the login access, but they will also indicate or maybe one of the remarks field who's the one that actually key in this entry lah. Is that one of the practice?
Basically, this is a name license.
Yeah.
Whether SAP, Oracle, Microsoft, they are all name license. Okay.
Sure.
So name license is not concurrent license. So name license means
login.
Yes, my email account is assigned with Dynamics license. Then only I can log in. So to Microsoft licensing terms, which you can download from our website. So they have indicated clearly that this is name license. The license cannot be shared. So technically you can share. Let's say, for example, this is the login ID. Darren is logged in using darren.lee@dellsales.com. I pass my email password for you. in your computer, Chifeng, log in using Darren.lib. Yes, you can, but they are able to detect your IP address. So licensing already say not allowed lah here. Basically, I would say is cannot be shared, is it? So would they be audit? Microsoft will do random audit to the whole world, right? Even Microsoft Singapore, they also do audit. So I do have a customer, they say never mind啦，不会抓到我的。Just like I would say, 你闯红灯，你不要 get caught 咯。So that's what we always share. But as a Microsoft partner, we will share with you. This is name license, whether Oracle also name license, SAP also name license, right? So this name license and the license cannot be shared. So technically, you pass your email ID and password to another person, log in concurrently. Are they able to detect? Yes, they can detect via your IP address. Yeah. Okay.
Thanks very much for your explanation.
Yeah.
Actually, 10 license is good enough for W2 lah.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking a bit ahead. Let's say 1-2 years later, if they expand and so on. But actually, they can also add, if they want to buy additional license, because
They
after
can buy
implementation,
additionally. Yeah.
they just charge accordingly according to your spreadsheet, right?
Correct. According to this one, no.
Okay, come. Okay, let's look into the dynamics now.
Yeah, no problem. So now let me share with you a few master data before we do the transaction. So this is the customer master, right, which we will migrate for you. So the customer number can be auto running. You can view it in list. You can view it in big tile, right, or small tile, up to you. Then let's say this my red mark is my customer. So I can see how much the balances, right? I can upload picture. I can
First of all,
upload any contract agreement.
Yeah, creation and updating of so-called customer and supplier master. Does Dynamics have a approval system?
Yes, there is this approval.
Okay, so basically you can set some. A few people can request.
Set up
A few
then
people can
drop for
approve lah.
approval.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you sign contract with your customer, right, you can also attach those contract in the system so that you can find it straight away from the system rather than you go and find the ARCH file or the folder from anyone's computer. Okay, so all this is unlimited file, video file, voice script, picture file, Excel, PDF, PowerPoint, whatever. As long as you can attach, you can just attach it.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you are able to see the balances still owing, right? Then the addresses, you can have multiple contact because each customer maybe you can different contact person, right? So you can maintain that different ship to address. All this is standard. Then this is more on accounting which we will discuss during the BA. Then what's the payment term, right? Yeah. So this is when you sell item, is there any specific selling price to this particular customer? So similarly, if we go into the vendor master, right? So we have this vendor master, right? So you will see more or less the same. It's just that this in AP, in purchase and payable module. So you can attach any document, any contract, you can attach picture, name card, and it's a auto running number. We can have multiple running number for you, which we will discuss during the BA, right? Then we will do this address, right? It is more on accounting, then the payment terms, all these things. So of course, you can also maintain dimension, right? This one will be discussed during BA, and there's an approval function also, right? Then you can also do the maintain the vendor bank details, right? So that you are able to retrieve the bank details before you make payment to your vendor in case you do a gyro or this thing. So then the next thing is to show you the inventory module. So similarly, when I come into inventory module, I have all this list of items. I can attach picture whether I want or not. I'm able to see my quantity on hand. So this is how do I categorize my item, whether I want to auto running my item number or I want to manually insert my item, key my item number. All this will be discussed. An item can be an inventory, can be a non-inventory. Okay, so this one is some people may have non-inventory like those both nuts right, glove, hand glove so those that don't track quantity but they still want to create as inventory, they can create as a non-inventory item. So you can see I got PO already issued 1222 quantity, haven't received yet. I have sales order 136 quantity, haven't shipped to the customer. any cross net weight, what's your costing method, okay, any GST related, okay, all these are big accounting. When you see posting group means linked to accounting already. Then do you need to do replenishment, meaning we run MRP lah. So we have the safety stock quantity can be defined. I minimally want to keep 100 quantity in my warehouse. When it drop below 100 quantity, when I run the MRP, they will suggest me how many quantity to top up to buy from my supplier. So if my quantity of 10 is 20, now my safety is 80. When I run, they'll suggest me to buy 80 quantity. So we can also have a serial number tracking, because let's say I sell machine, computer, hardware, right? There could be a serial number behind, so we can define the serial number. When you buy, when you sell, you can choose a serial number accordingly. So of course, serial number will come together with the, let's say you have expiration date or warranty date. All this can be defined during the purchasing and the sales. Okay. Then now I would like to show you the transaction. So for very fast, I want to go through the quotation code to.
Okay, Darren, this is very, very good. I really love this. Can we take a 3 minutes break? I need to go toilet. I think other people want to go toilet also.
Okay, can.
Let's take 3 minutes,
no
come
problem.
back later. Okay.
Can.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
So just curious, if there's
yes.
loss in internet connectivity, right? That means they have to take a break, they can't work on use the ERP.
Yes, if there's no internet, then you can't use the system more. But I would say sometimes some people say, hey, my office network down, then how? Then we can use our handphone Wi-Fi. Lor.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I'm back. How about the rest of you guys?
I'm here.
Okay. So
Junior.
Steven, can we continue?
Sure.
Okay, let's continue,
Steven?
Darren. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Good. Let's continue.
Okay. Okay, so let me show you how quick and how easy I can create a quotation. So this is the outstanding quotation, which still pending. So I will come here to click new. Then this is the quotation. Okay, all these are the fields, right? Then of course there is this attachment. Sometimes I can attach certain document. Okay, so that all the document attached to this quotation will be brought down to the invoice subsequently, to the order, to the invoice. Okay, so now I'm going to quote one of my customers. Let's say, for example, I'm going to quote Golden House, just for example. Then of course there are those fields, right? You can show more or show less. So depending on how you want. Then I will start to fill up what item I want to sell to my customer. Let's say I want to sell drinks, Pepsi Cola, and then second item I want to sell Carlsberg, just for example. Then I can say I want to sell 10 quantity, this one is 20 quantity, right? So if you have maintained the selling price, they will pull out automatically. If you didn't, they will leave it blank for you to type in. Okay, then for us, the Dynamics 365 that we deploy for you, right? We are also IRAS certified. So if you go to here, you are able to see that we are actually certified by IRAS for the GST. So when we deploy for you, we will include the Singapore GST localization function. So all these are the GST code required by IRAS actually. So when we sell, actually we use standard rated. Okay. Of course, you want to define, at the end of the day, you may want to print out your P&L by business unit, by division, by department, by project, by channel or region. All this we call dimension. So this will be discussed during the training. So my example here is actually I want to see my P&L report, my expenses, my revenue by department, project, all this. So I can configure so that eventually I can print out report. So so I can just fill up here. Where's the dimension? Yeah, correct. So I can say channel, department, project, region. So channel could be, let's say, distributor channel, just for example. Department could be production department. Project could be, let's say, BMW project. Region could be, let's say, Southeast Asia. Just for example, this is how I want to track. Okay, it can be configured according to a requirement. So once I fill up, it will auto fill up to the line already. You see. Okay, so now I have done the quotation to quote 2 items. My total is 580 plus GST. Do I need to provide line discount or overall discount? It's up to you. So now what I can do is I can easily send out directly from Microsoft Office Dynamics 365 without the need to save as PDF, then go open up my Microsoft Outlook. So you see, this is the good point of integration between Office 365 and Dynamics 365. So the email address will be pulling out directly from your this customer master. So this is the quotation format that we will customize for you according to your layout. So this is one of our sample. Okay.
So pause for a while, Darren. So it's actually advantageous for customers to subscribe to Office 365 lah.
Yes,
From the
correct.
current desktop license.
Correct. Actually, it's not expensive. For this Office 365 standard selling price is 210 Sing dollar. So if our Dynamics customer, we will sell at 199. Yeah.
Oh, so
Per year,
199 per user lah.
199 per user per year. It's quite cheap actually. Yeah. Hi Darren, please find attach quotation just for example. Okay. So I will click OK. Then we just send out straight from the system already. Okay. So maybe I'll show you the email in 1 minute later. So if the customer confirm, right, what you can do, of course, you can set up approval. Approval means it can be approved by multi-level hierarchy. It can also be approved by limit, because maybe salesperson can only approve up to 500. More than 500, the quotation must route to boss or manager to do approval. All these we will ask you during the BA. Okay. So if customer confirm the code, what you need to do is actually make order, meaning convert the sales code to become a sales order, or convert the sales code to become a sales invoice directly without the need to go through DO and sales order. So in my case here, because I sell stock item, I want to generate DO, so I go through the order. So I make order. It ask you yes or no. I say yes. So the order is 76. It's already converted. So this quotation 45 will move into history. Okay. So now the sales order 75 is opening. So this sales order 75. So you will see everything exactly the same, and you're still allowed to change the quantity in case some customer call to change quantity or increase or decrease. So once you are ready, you can also send out email confirmation, this order confirmation to your customer. So usually at this stage, right, you will also attach your customer PO for you. Okay, because customer may issue you a PO or they may sign your quotation, so you can scan as PDF then attach it accordingly. Okay, so this is one of the function. And then the next thing is, let's say I'm ready to do the shipment to my customer already, right? So I would say originally quantity order is 10 and 20. So how many quantity I'm going to ship to my customer? I'm going to bill my customer. So I make it very simple. I want to one shot 一次过 ship and invoice my customer. So what I will do is I will do posting. So when I post, they will ask me, you want to generate DO and invoice together? I say yes. Or you just want to generate DO without invoice, also can. So I want to one shot ship and invoice. So I click OK. So now the system is generated the DO and invoice. So done. So you see, the whole process, the data entry is only one time, which is during the quotation. Once quotation is done, you convert to become order. Then from order, you do DO, you do invoice. So there's no need to manually pull out the quotation, become an order, or pull out the order to become a DO before you can post a DO and become invoice. That's the process you will do in B1 and also 6 APEC. Okay, but for Dynamics, you can just convert, and then in the sales order, you can straight away generate DO and invoice ready. Okay, so you can open up the posted invoice. If you ever attach any document, they will show here, so that whenever audio, whatever, you will come in to find out. So these are this is the thing. Then you can straight email the invoice from the system to your customer. You see, this is the invoice format, which we will also customize for you according to your layout. Okay, then this is the format. Then I would say, let's say I don't want to type anything, I just click OK to send out. So if I go into my here, right, you will get to see just now the quotation. You see, this is the quotation. Let me open up the PDF. Yeah, so this is the email lah. So just like I also send out the invoice. So fast, the invoice already come. Of course, you can type something lah, so that it will have something there for you for the invoice. So these are the beautiful part of Dynamics. Even in Dynamics, you are also able to straight away in Outlook. If you are using Office 365, you are straight away able to generate quotation, invoice, order, credit, PO over here. So let's say I want to do a quotation without the need to open up your Dynamics or go into Dynamics, you are able to do it in Outlook. So this is also one of the functions that if you are using Office 365 together, there are a lot more which I will show you later. Okay, so they are now establishing the connection between, yeah. So then you can choose which customer you want to quote. Let's say I want to quote this one. So I just choose. Yeah, then you can start to fill up what you want to sell already, see. Okay, so if you feel that it's too small, you can just expand it. Then you will open up. Yeah, so that's the beautiful part of this. Okay, so this is the integration in the Outlook. So I just close it and come back. So this is how quick I can do a quote to an invoice. Okay, so any question to ask in terms of sales?
It's very good so far.
Yeah, then I will proceed to the purchase module. So in the purchase module, let's say I create a PO, right? All these are the outstanding PO. So same thing, we can route for approval for the PO. If we turn on whether by approval limit or hierarchy, all this is configurable for you. We will check with you, ask you during the BA lah. So you can also attach your supplier quotation here so that it keep permanently in the system. Okay, so I will choose which vendor I want to buy from, assuming I want to buy from Genius Stock, right? Genius, right? So who is the purchaser, right? So let's say it's called Darren. Then what I want to buy, assuming I want to buy this Pepsi Cola. I also want to buy this, for example, Carlsberg, just for example. Then I want to buy, let's say, 20 quantity. This one is actually 30 quantity. Okay. So then if I ever maintain the purchase price for the vendor, they will auto pull the price for me. So for IRAS, GST, when you buy, it's no longer standard rated. They call TX. This is the government tax code. So which will configure accordingly for you. So called TX. So whether you receive any discount by percentage or by amount, or is there any overall discount, you can always fill up. So if there's a dimension, just now the department, right? Just now those project you can fill up so that eventually you have expenses, you have purchase, you have sales, then you can print out the report by the dimension. So now the PO is created. Similarly, I'm able to straight away send out the PO from the system to my supplier. So if you maintain the email address, they will actually come up. Okay. So this is the PO, which we will also customize the PO for you. Okay. So this is the PO format. Okay. Then if okay, I will just click send. So within less than 1 minute, the supplier should be able to receive the email. So once your supplier is ready they ship the stock for you, right? You will come back to this purchase order. You'll fill up your supplier DO number here, this supplier DO number, and you'll fill your supplier invoice number here, and you will fill up how many quantity your supplier ship to you, meaning you're going to receive. There could be partial, then you just override the quantity. Okay, let's say 10 quantity, and they can bill 10 quantity only. Okay, my scenario here is very simple. I want to one-shot receive all, so I don't change anything. So what I will do is I will one-shot do the posting to generate GRN, goods receipt note, and also the supplier invoice. Of course, if supplier ship to me without any billing yet, so I just do GRN only. Okay, so all this is you will choose according to the circumstances scenario. So I will just do the posting, then I will do the let me try again. Yeah, so now I'm doing the posting. So the invoice is already posted, okay, and GRN also posted. So when you open up, you'll be able to see if you ever attach any document, they will store here the quotation. Even after posted, you want to attach supplier invoice PDF to here, you still can do. So the attachment can be happen later or can be happen before you post. You are still able to attach. So this is a supplier invoice, something like that. Okay. So this is about the purchase from the PO straight do the GRN, then do the invoice. So you see the data entry process is very efficient and effective without the need of much data entry process for the user. Okay. So that's called productivity lah. So the next thing is, let's say I want to do receipt and payment. So to do payment, very simple. So one way is I can go into the individual vendor, right? Let's say I go into this vendor, let's say just now I buy from Genius, right? Yeah, go into vendor. So I can go into their transaction history here, right? I can highlight these three. I can process, create payment. This is one way of doing the payment. Let's say I want to point to payment journal C lah. Okay, maybe payment journal B, just for example. Okay, so I'm going to use DBS to make payment, right? So I click OK. So they will generate the payment for me because red color ma, 红色. So you see, this is the payment journal. How much I'm going to pay, and then the invoice is already auto applied for me. See, just now the red color one is how quick I can do the payment. Okay, of course, if I want to do manually without to highlight can or not, that is traditional method, which every system is the same. So for example, I come into the cash book module, I will go into payment journal. Let's say I open up this payment journal C, right? Then I will choose the document number, right? Which vendor I want to, let's say I want to pay Heineken. So document number, okay. Then after that, I will choose apply. Apply means I want to apply which invoice. So for example, these two, then set to apply. Then I want to do partial payment because 6,000 I want to pay all. I want to pay maybe $2,000. This one I pay maybe $500. Okay. Then I click OK. So total I pay 2,005. Alright. Then I will choose which bank I want to pay. Which bank. So I will choose my bank. Let's say I want to use perhaps OCBC, just for example. Okay, or maybe UOB Bank. I want to use UOB Bank. Then I can print out the payment voucher. Where is the payment voucher? Yeah, here. So I can print out, preview. Then for boss to sign for approval. Yeah. So these are the two. You see 6,000, I pay 2,000, 1,500, I have to pay $500. So total 2,500. So prepared by, received by, something like that lah. Okay. So this is the payment voucher. Then if okay, then I will do the posting log. So posting is here to update to the system. Okay. So every month end, when you receive the bank statement from the bank, you can do the bank reconciliation. So when you do the bank reconciliation, let's say I'm doing OCBC bank reconciliation. So you can actually download the bank statement from your bank. Okay. So OCBC, UOB, DBS, all this can be configured lah. Okay. So then we can go to here, import, browse. I have this OCBC statement. Okay, this is downloaded from bank. Let me open up to show you. This is where you can download straight away from the bank. This is the CSV file. Okay, so what I will do is I will come back to Dynamics. I will browse. They will just import. Once imported already, right, I will be able to see all the individual receipt and payment and which check number, how much the amount. So I have to do reconciliation versus my system. So I can do match automatically. So they will just reconcile automatically for me. So if they are able to reconcile by the date, by the check number, by the amount, they will reconcile. If they are unable to reconcile, you can reconcile manually for yourself. That's more accounting. See, once reconcile, they become green color, then you can post ready. Okay, so this is about cash flow. The next thing is I want to move on is a service management module, whereby you are doing servicing to your customer. So let me go into explore all. So there is this service management module. Let me show you. Where? Yeah, here. So in the service management module, we have service item. Okay, what is service item? If you service item is the equipment, is the machine, is the product, is something that you sell to your customer. So you need to go down to service that thing. Okay, so every time you sell something to your, let's say I sell aircon, for example. So aircon is a service item. So it has a serial number. So I have to create the service item. The service item can be created automatically when you post the sales order to DO to invoice, or the service item can be created manually by the user. It depends on your own preference. So let me show you the service item. So I sell Yamaha product. Okay, the item is this one. This is linked to inventory. The serial number is this one because I turned on serial number. Every Yamaha I sold, I have a serial number. I can see the status. When was the last time I do the servicing? Okay, and then is there a warranty for 3 years, 100% for part or 100% for labor, or maybe labor is no warranty, part is warranty during the first 3 years. So when you create service order to do servicing, is as long as it's labor charge, then 100% means, if no 100% means it's chargeable lah. Okay, who is the customer, right? And then you ship to where last time, okay? And what is the price you sell last time? What is the cost? What is the price you sell last time? All this will auto, you can fill out or auto fill up by the system when you opt for the auto creation. Okay, so every single product that you sell to your customer, you will need to create a service item before you do the service order. Okay, so this
One
is the
question,
service item.
can I have a service item without a service order?
Yes, service item is the master data.
Okay.
You have a service item already, then you create service order. So maybe you are asking me, can I have a service order without a service item? The answer is yes. If you do not have service item created upfront, you go and create a service order. That service order, whatever thing you service, right, will not appear in service item because there is no service item. But if you have created a service item, then you create a service order, right, you are able to see last time who was the one servicing this product, this thing, when it was being serviced. Because this service item, right, you are able to see the history. You see, you can see when was service, right, and when was the billing done, right, and what have you ever changed spare part, or to service this Yamaha I changed real light, okay, for the product. Okay, so you're able to see the history. If you, without creating service item, straight away create a service order, then that service order is actually no linkage to any service item at all. Okay,
okay, good.
Yeah, so now let me go and create a service order because I'm doing servicing, right? So I will create a service order. So these are the outstanding service order lah. So I will click new. Let's say I want to service let me service back this one. Okay, So I can choose servicing type, whether it's a general service or cleaning service or overhaul service. These are configurable created by user. You can type a description, but it's optional. So you can see the status, right? Then you need to choose a service item. If you don't choose a service item, you just type a description here. So that's to answer just how without creating service item, can we create service order? Yes. If you don't, you fill out description here. If you yes, you choose which item you want to service. So I'm going to service this Samsung Aircon 8, for example. I'm selling Aircon, I need to go down to do servicing. So once I fill up here already, so below here is the customer I'm going to bill to, right? The ship to address, all these things. So then I will go in line. I can assign resources. Resources means my individual technician. So I can say who is the, now I created my labor cost, simple. Actually, it can be person, Darren, right? William, Anthony, Shirley, whatever name you can create, then you can allocate. So you're able to monitor this person today, what they are going to do, how much time they still have, okay? So this is more on the resource allocation. Is it mandatory? Not mandatory. So it's optional function that you can use. Then you can also go in, most important part is this one, service item worksheet. Is whereby when you service this, right, this is more on the service report you are doing. So when you service this, right, you use what to service. Okay, I'm changing, for example, for aircon, let's say I'm changing, okay, let's say I change tire, just for example. Okay, I'm also changing use a spare part called for example rim, just for example. I'm changing two tire, two rim, just for example. So when you change, right, you can write down what is the fault region code, where is the area having the fault, what is the symptom, what is the fault code, what resolution you apply. All these are for analysis. Is it compulsory? Not compulsory, but you can configure, set up it along the journey. I have some customer upfront, they say too detailed, Darren, I don't have and I don't need, but I will do it later.
That means all these fields, Darren, if there's not needed, I can just hide all the fields, is it?
You can hide, you can personalize the whole system, right? All the fields you can personalize, then you can click, hide or move.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, correct.
So it's basically personalized to the individual users.
Correct.
Beautiful. Okay.
Yeah. Because it's personal preference. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So just another question I want to ask is that we're doing a service item, a service order, but we haven't linked it to a sales order yet, right?
Okay, service order is equivalent to sales order already.
I see. Okay, understand.
Yeah, if you create service order, sales order is to sell product.
Yes.
Service order is to service product.
But what happens if, as part of my thing, I implement product, I so-called sell product as well as provide services? So do I need to create both a service order and sales order?
No. For the very first time you sell, right, you don't create service order. Because I know the first time, just like we sell aircon, right? We first time not only selling the aircon, we also need to installation services, right? So that you can do it everything within the sales order module, meaning you sell aircon, the product, and then you charge a professional fee, the installation.
But in this case, it's quite different from serving, because what they do is that they get all the parts, so-called from the supplier. They actually need to assemble the parts in the factory. They need to do the factory acceptance test. Then they need to do the site assessment test, and they need to do commissioning report. So their installation effort is not just installation. There's quite a lot of things to be done, where they will need to itemize all these service items as part of doing the job as well. So basically, my question is that they need to supply the part that costs $10,000, but the services could be as much as $3,000 to $4,000, and they want to itemize all these things. So how can this be done in the system?
Meaning your package is straight away sell the product plus the services together.
Yes, correct. And the services is very substantial. It's not just installing aircon. There's quite a lot of things to be done. So do you create both a sales order and service order?
No, it's either one only.
Either one,
Yeah.
Because I want to have all the details that I see in your service order when I provide these services, you see?
I would say it's like this because okay, I would say it's like this. Service module is more on after sales service. After sales service. Now your case is first time sales plus service, correct or not?
Mm.
Yeah. The concept of service order is more on after sales service. Some people call it a field service. Okay. After sales service means I have already upfront showed you and do the services first time. Then subsequently, I need to do servicing. I will have the spare part accessory to do servicing plus my labor charge. This is after sales service, we will use service module. But for the very first time, right, I sell you, I also do servicing, right? That usually we will use sales order module to sell and then charge you the services. That's all.
So can I create service item in my sales order?
Cannot. Service item only applicable in service module. Okay, service item is only created upon selling of the item.
So can I just, for my sake, in my case, create a service order corresponding to my sales order as well?
If that's the case, I would say it's like this. You create a sales order, you sell the product.
Yes.
The main product.
Yes.
No services there. You
Okay.
post up to the invoice ready.
Yes.
Okay. Then that product that you sold, right, is a machine, right? Is an equipment, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, then it will auto create as a service item in service module. Then second step is you create a service order, which is now you can find out just now outside here, which is the service item which already auto created for you. Then you come in here, you can go and fill up who is the resources, what are the accessory you need to use to service if there are so accessory, or what are the services. For example, servicing fee, traveling fee, for example, fee you need to charge to your customer.
So you're saying that I can create a service item from a sales order lah?
No, there's no service item in the sales order. Sales order only linked to item, not service item.
Actually, the reality is that after I make my so-called sales order, it's going to be at least a few weeks, if not 1 month, before I can provide the actual installation. Because the item, after I put the sales order, it takes time to come in also. So it makes sense, you see.
That's why, correct. That's why your sales order is selling the product only.
Correct. So then
once you
after that,
you ship already, maybe 2 days later, 1 week later, then you create a service order to go down. You can define that you are going to service this item, which you provide installation services, cleaning service, whatever services.
Can my service item also so-called include inventory parts?
Yes. You see,
yeah.
Because service item is created based on item. When you sell the item, right, we can turn on the function whereby, let's say I sell 2 quantity, okay. If I turn on the auto creation of service item, right, in sales order I sell 2 quantity of this Yamaha. When I post a sales order up to DO only, they will auto create 2 service items for me. Yeah, so you sell already, you deliver, that is selling of the product. 1 week later or 2 days later, you need to go down to service, whereby your service could be installation, whatever, commissioning or whatever. Then you create a service order. When you create a service order, you pull out the service item. Then you indicate clearly what are the services you are going to do here.
Okay, makes sense. Good.
Yeah. So we will say servicing. All this code is created according to your requirement. Then you can say because this one is warranty, so I have to exclude warranty. So that is I'm chargeable. Okay, so let's say it's $100, $20, something like that. Okay, so is there any GST? Of course, we can default but I didn't default. That's why I have to fill out here. Okay, so basically this is how I can fill up. Then I close. So I can see that this is the service order. Let me go back again.
So Darren, among the 20 customers you have, how many of them are actually using this service module?
1, 2, so far 3 customers using service module.
So subsequently, if you want to talk to them to get a feedback, is it possible that you help us link up?
I have to talk to them. I have to
And-
talk to them.
Yeah. Well, no, we just want to get in touch with them and talk behind your back and say, hey, this Darren good or not? Then you say, good, good, good. Okay, let me trust you. You know what I mean?
Okay.
We don't need to visit their site, that kind of things. We just need
Mm.
to have a like GM to GM talk, that kind of things. Yeah.
I need to see whether they want to talk.
Sure,
Or
I
I
understand.
want to ask. I need to ask.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another question is that don't know, Dynamics, so-called the native, does it have education license?
They always have education and commercial license.
So,
We are also Microsoft education partner actually.
so can you help me find out what's the pricing model for education license?
But there's no grant. There's no
I
grant.
know, that's fine. Because I also teach in
Yeah.
a poly, so we're also looking
Ah.
for good ERP software for our lessons lah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not urgent. If you
So
help me look into this, I will then so-called check.
yes,
Because currently
I
our
can.
ERP is based on the installation, and the installation is very old already lah. It's due for upgrade
Mm.
already. So we want to look into
Oh.
this area as well.
Because we have went through the exam lah. Myself also went through the exam, so we are education partner.
Great.
So Microsoft very strict. Yeah, it could be commercial partner, education partner is strict. So we are able to sell education pricing.
So just to share with you, the current ERP we're using is Microsoft Navision. So it shows you how old it is already. And
Yeah,
it's
quite old.
it's on-site installation, and yeah, so
Wow.
it's time
Yeah,
to
that is
upgrade.
the old model lah.
Yeah. So
I went through that also lah.
okay,
Actually,
good.
last time implement that Navision easily 100K
Yeah, I understand.
or 150K.
Yeah.
That's why 1 year you get 10 customers can be 2 million already
Yeah,
revenue.
yeah.
Yeah, last time lah.
Yeah.
But nowadays not because become cheaper and cheaper.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, continue please.
So here I do a service order already, right? Then where service order worksheet is more on the service report lah, that your guy key in what they do, right? They can type comment also actually, okay? So there's a comment, they can just type remarks, okay, everything, so that it will get printed lah. So of course you can print out the service order. Where is the service order? Yeah. So this service order would also be customized for you according to your layout, which is more like a service report lah. So
Darren,
this
is this mobile friendly?
Yes.
So
yes.
because currently a lot of people do this on paper, so it'd be good for them to do it on
You
a tablet.
to use tablet would be better, but I can show you via mobile. There's an app to download whether you are using Apple or Android or even Microsoft phone, right? You can log in.
Yeah.
And you can use the, but for phone, I found that I feel they're quite small lah.
Also, there's actually a app for Microsoft Dynamics, is it?
Yes, this is the one. You see?
Can you bring closer? Because I'm. Oh, okay. Okay, thanks,
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
No problem. Yeah. Good.
This is the one.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you are able to see even your you can even check your inventory. See?
Okay, that's nice.
So it's
Does
quite
this
user-friendly.
Dynamics have two-factors authentication?
Essential and premium, no?
No. For the login, user access login, does it have two-factors authentication?
Oh yes, we can turn on a two-factor. We can turn on
So 2FA.
whether SMS or whether it's an app to alert you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because now there's cloud security is another issue already lah.
All right.
Yeah.
Actually, my one I actually there's a app called Microsoft Authenticator lah.
Yeah, understand.
Yes.
Okay.
Microsoft Authenticator.
Similar to
We'll guide you along the
Google
journey.
Authenticator lah, you know.
Yes, correct.
Okay,
correct.
good.
Microsoft is better. Sorry to say so.
That's okay, sure.
I doing Sage also last time. I do other system, but I feel that Microsoft is a technology innovator. Okay.
At this
So,
current moment, things change all the time.
yeah. Yeah, so if okay, I will do the posting lor. So ship and invoice means you are going to deduct the stock, the raw material, the component that you are using to services, and you're going to bill your customer. Or even if within warranty, you can also ship an invoice by just create $0 invoice. Ship and consume means you let's say you service, right? You are not going to create a $0 invoice. You don't want to create $0 invoice. You just want to ship and utilize the component that you bring down to the job site to do servicing. So this is up to your decision. So of course, ship and invoice, the double entry is slightly different. They will go into your cost of goods sold account, credit inventory, debit cost of goods sold. Ship and consume your credit inventory, debit your inventory adjustment account.
So ship and consume is that if there's a standing contract, then I'll just do ship and consume because it's already part of a bigger contract. I don't invoice that for every small job there. Correct?
It won't create invoice
Okay,
at all.
good.
Yeah, correct.
So the invoicing,
Yeah,
the payment is done by contract by another mechanism.
yes,
Okay.
correct. So yeah. So now my case, I want to ship an email, for example. So I just click OK. So they will just generate the DO, generate the invoice for me.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, so this is the
So what's the
invoice.
name of this module? Is called service what?
Service management module.
And then you mentioned there's a factory one as well, right?
Factory.
There's a production module you mentioned.
Oh, just now, yeah, there's another module production. But this one will incur additional mandate to implement.
That's okay. So actually there's no need for production module lah. Okay lah.
If you need to use the family production law.
I mean, I won't want to activate another module just for that purpose. So I must probably do another workaround, that kind of things.
Which is the stock adjustment law, like I mentioned just now.
Yeah.
That's also, I have one customer in Tanjong Penjuru. He also have this function, this scenario, but he found that wow, I don't need to pay 80,000 I am small company, he said lah. So at the end of the day, because he has this big item buy, then split into small item.
Sure.
So at the end of the day, he just want to use essential. Then he doesn't need 10, he just need 5 user license. So eventually my workaround for him is very simple. So you just do a stock adjustment. When you buy the full set item, right?
Yeah.
So once you want to split it, then you will do item stock adjustment minus a finished item, then increase the component item.
Can I see what's in the
It's
premium
not
pack again?
limited,
Can you scroll down a little bit? So okay. So also the license is so-called part of the premium pack, but I need to pay additional mandates for the services to set up lah.
For this one to set up.
Okay, understand.
If you use this one, no need, it's already included.
Okay, and just now you said that unlikely for customers to have both manufacturing and service management lah.
Usually, based on our experience,
Either one or
it's
the other
unlikely.
lah. Okay.
Yeah, it's either one because a manufacturing company will not do servicing lah.
Understand. So I want to understand about the project and job costing. Can you share with me a bit about this project and job?
Project and job costing is more on you are doing engineering job or construction job.
And they are actually doing engineering job. W2 is doing engineering.
Meaning you tender a project.
Yes, we do that, yes.
And then you do progressive billing.
Yes, correct.
Then you have budgeted cost, you have budgeted revenue.
Yes.
Then you need to run revenue recognition.
Yes, correct. Yes.
So your revenue recognition is actually based on the this one, what they call, let me go back to job. So when you incur cost, you go to WIP, right? When you bill, you go to deferred income. So you will do recognition based on IRAS. IRAS will project percentage completion. Okay.
Yeah.
So government usually accept project percentage completion. Then you do revenue recognition. Then those will be recognized accordingly.
One question I ask is that normally
do you need to implement this module?
I think there's a high chance we need to do this because they do quite a lot of projects. For example, they could be doing a project for PUB, so they bid for the tender, or they are one of the subcontractors. So their job is to do installation, plus also maintenance over a period of few years, that kind of things. And the payment for this contract is on a install. It's normally they pay you maybe 10%, then you install they pay you 60%. They always retain another 20-30% until 1 year later, 2 years later, that kind of thing lah. So I think this is quite important.
For our PSG grant, the main day we factor in is to implement 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? Then if you take premium, it's either one only.
Understand. So basically, you're saying that the warehouse management module is not inside there. The cash flow
The
forecast.
license included this module,
I know, but the
main
services
day to implement, yes, because these are not commonly used modules, so we don't want to make it too
So okay, can you show me again? So cash flow forecast is not warehouse management, it's not a project cost control.
Cash flow statement have.
Understand.
Some people they just need a cash flow statement, not cash flow forecast. Cash flow forecast is another module.
Understand. Okay, so there are 4 modules. So starting from cash flow forecast, warehouse management,
2, 3, 4. These 4 are not part of the PSG services to implement.
Understand. I mean, that's reasonable and so on. So we also look into this, and among the 4, the only most likely thing we need to factor in is the project and job costing. How many man days do you think that would incur, and how much?
Usually the BA 1 day setup, it will be 1 day, 1.5 days. Then training will be 1 day, implementation less than 5 days. I would say.
What's the man day rate you're charging?
800块.
Okay, reasonable lah.
Additional 4,000
So 4,000 块钱 to so-called switch on this module.
Correct. Because not many people, because we sell under essential, right?
Understand.
Not all company, honestly, until today, 2 years already, I don't have customer using job costing.
Okay.
And I don't have customer using warehouse management because to them inventory management more than enough already.
Yes, if you do inventory management properly, very good already.
Correct. Then in the company is there's no reason to factor in the professional service. MBA will straight reject you. Why? Because each PSG package is to implement one entity, correct? So you do have 2 companies, then why you need to factor in? They will question you, all this. That's why we justify one. So that's why we can't put in those modules that are not commonly used.
So Darren, thanks very much for the close to 2 hours of very detailed explanation. See, I'm chatting with my team at the back on the WhatsApp, and then we're saying, hey, this Darren, everything on the fingertips one, don't need to think, everything just come out so straightforward one. So we're definitely very impressed by this. So I'm very happy that the first vendor that talked to us is someone that knows their stuff lah. So again, like what I told you, I need to do my due diligence, talk to other vendors, but you probably set the benchmark very high. You spoil the market lah. So I will basically be talking to other people using Darren as a standard to ask them questions. So thanks very much for the very detailed thing. We do have some other questions about some of the things, how we do this, how we do that. But I think 2 hours is good enough for now. Some of my colleagues left for other meetings as well. But I will definitely so-called brief them on all these things, and we will evaluate other people and come back to you to ask you more questions. One thing I want to ask, because I actually recorded this presentation for my own reference, but I was thinking it'd be very useful for my colleagues who are not in the session. Do you mind if I share this recording to the other colleagues as well in my team?
Can, no problem.
Can, because anyway, you didn't say anything. You didn't say anything wrong and things like that, and what you say is very impressive lah. Then you don't have to repeat the whole thing to them next time.
I've been doing for since graduate 2006 until now.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been doing ERP. So of course this is my company, honestly speaking.
Yes.
So we are doing very well for the past few years.
But the thing is that the Tech Hub, Tech Depot listing of all the solution is super lousy, It's like
Tech Depot if I so I would say some partner, not me during vendor briefing, some partner did complain to MDA So about some software you say digitalization, even MLB still digital, still can be this kind of PSG grant. Then what's your standard?
Right.
So you must be MLB. What I heard one partner complain, MLB is 20 years technology, you still let them be a partner.
Yeah.
So sometimes so at the end of the day is the customer that they must do their study
Correct.
to choose the right solution for their environment. That's why upfront, I can tell you SAP B1 and 6 will not be suitable to you
Yeah.
because it doesn't even have this service management module. Like SAP B1 don't even have project module.
Okay. So what I'm saying is that
Yeah.
the listing of all the solutions on the tech depot is actually very confusing lah. You must click on a solution. Then they could have presented it in a much better way. I need to scroll through everything to compile all the information, all the people. But I'm very lucky that one of the name I saw was Delstack. Despite the
Yeah,
fact
thank
that
you
you are
so
not
much.
on the first page, you actually don't know somewhere at the bottom. I don't know how I found you, but good thing I contacted
Oh,
you. So you mentioned this is your own company lah.
yes.
And
Yeah.
what was the name? What do you call it? Delstack? What does it mean?
Oh, because we have been working for other partner for many years lah.
Yes.
Around 10 years, then only we step out to come out. We dare to come out is mainly because a lot of our customers say, Darren, you can do it. You come out with
Yes,
support.
correct, yeah.
Before I come out, I already got project
Yeah.
waiting me.
Yes.
So I even meet Microsoft because we need to be approved by Microsoft before we can be a partner. Even the Microsoft Dynamics lead in Southeast Asia give me a statement whereby you're so young. If I don't give you, I will lose you to SAP or Oracle already.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the statement I remember. So why Delstack? Because it's Darren Lim and Stanley. Yeah.
Now I know.
Our name is simple, but it is meaningful to us because there are two boss, right?
Yes.
Two bosses, Darren and Stanley. So I'm more functional.
Yeah.
So I can share with you about, because I was a principal consultant, senior consultant. So I've been doing this. So our team is also quite solid. So every week we provide training. Every Wednesday, like today, tonight also, we provide training, whether GR report, whether Power BI. We're also doing Power BI. So we are also doing those mobile scanning function, mobile nav, those barcode scanning. So we do training. We're also doing all this. So this is our focus. So that's why Delstack is how it comes together lah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's
Yeah.
very good. I mean you really show that you own this thing, you have everything at fingertips. Before I finish my question, you really have the answer in your brain already. So
Yeah.
and I mean
Because
I like the
I'm willing to share more actually.
Yes.
I share more than what the customer asks me.
which is very good, yeah. And I think when I'm looking through the things, the standard purchase and sales is very standard, but overall I think my team and I we like the so-called user interface. And
Very good, actually very good, honestly, compared to SAP B1, they are cloud-based only,
Yeah.
not cloud native.
sure, Ken.
Yeah.
So Ken, great. I will do my other homework and so on. Thank you very much for today's session. Then I will contact you again when I have so-called things to
Okay.
discuss with you lah.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Darren.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Okay. Bye bye.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.